Today's gospel has to be one of my absolute favorites. In today's gospel, Jesus says that he's like the vine, and we are like the branches of the vine. God is the vine grower, the farmer that grows the grapes. Now, what is Jesus talking about when he says that? We have to really look at this to understand, and we have to understand how farmers grow grapes. How do farmers make vines grow so that they produce plenty of grapes? Well, they have to look at what branches are not producing and are no good, and they have to trim them off. Some branches might even be good, but they might need a little trimming. And what happens when you look at that after, the branches might look so bare with all the vines trimmed off, but later they will grow and produce an abundance of fruit. If the farmer wouldn't have trimmed the branches and the vines, then it wouldn't have grown and it wouldn't have produced any fruit. It's the same thing with fruit growers. When they have their fruit trees, they have to do the exact same thing. They have to trim off all the bad branches. Some branches might seem okay, but still need a little trimming. And when they're done, and they look at the tree might seem awful bare and spraggly, but once they wait, the tree just explodes and provides an abundance of fruit. We can look at a rose bush and say the same thing. How do we make a rose bush grow and produce beautiful flowers? Well, we cut it right down to nothing except a few little stumps. We leave it, and eventually it will produce a beautiful crop of roses. If we don't trim that rose bush down to almost nothing, then it won't produce beautiful roses. And we are exactly the same way. God wants us to become good Christians, strong in our faith, to love and help other people. So what does God do? He looks us over and he trims our branches and our vines, meaning our bad habits and our sin that prevent us from becoming a good Christian. Let me give you an example. If someone is a Christian, but they tend to be very arrogant, God may look at them and realize he needs to help them. And he might do so by putting them in a job where they have a boss that's very strict and very tough and who really puts them in their place. And the person may not like it, but after a while they come to realize that the boss did so to help them become more humble and not be so arrogant. And that's exactly how God trims our branches and our vines. Whether it's grapevines, fruit trees, or rose bushes, after that trimming, those all go into shock. And they grow only by putting water and fertilizer and lots of care. And eventually they blossom into great trees or shrubs or plants. When God trims our branches, we also go through shock or a hard time, and we might face some real obstacles and challenge. And that's why it's so important that during that time we depend on Jesus. And as long as we are with Jesus, he will help us through those hard times and strengthen our faith, and we will become a much more beautiful Christian. How do we get close to Jesus? Well, I've talked about this many, many times in my vlogs. You need to see Jesus as your best friend. You need to pray every single day. You need to go to Mass every Sunday. Go to confession regularly. Read the Bible and help and serve other people. Doing those things will keep us with Jesus and keep God working on us and help us become more beautiful Christians. God bless you.